What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 80s Babies podcast. We are on episode 3. We got some good topics for you. That's my co-host B, Brandon Stevens.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? B, we back. We back. Episode 3. Ready to get at it. Getting better every episode.
Yes, sir. We keep rolling. All right, so we're gonna lead off this show with a hometown shout out to Miss Terriana Wilburn. In case you didn't know, she was listed on the Sandy Spiel top 20 centers in the state of Georgia. She was ranked number 14, actually, and I've had the opportunity to see her play. Um, she's a real deal. She got some good height. She's long, lanky, and she gets the job done. So kudos and congratulations to her as well as Coach Evan Jefferson.
Evan Jefferson.
Yeah, so I want to shout
Former
out
former
WWI.
teammate of former teammate of head coach Ben Smith at Jacksonville University.
That's right. That's right. So we know we know where he come from. We know his
Many
buddy.
pedigree.
Yeah, so we know he know his stuff.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
kind of kept up. I kind of kept up with her last year. She stayed in the top in the state in probably every category, as far as points, rebounds, and blocks. And I think she got up there in the nation one week, averaging about 6 per game over
Okay.
2 or 3 week span. I think I seen it because Evan was dropping little gems on him during the year, and I keep up with him. And
Right.
yeah, he actually got ranked in the nation in blocks at one point last year. So yeah, that pretty good, nice talent. And what the girls got made it to the Elite Eight last year, I think. Sweet
Was it the
16,
Sweet 16, I believe?
16. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I think it was
okay.
Sweet
So looking for bigger and better things in year 2, coach.
16. Of course.
I played with him. He still can hoop. So I know he out there with them, still hooping around, still shooting that thing. I call him David Wesley from Charlotte Hornets. That's
He
the kind
kind of
of that ball.
remind you of,
Kind
yeah,
of remind me of that ball here. He got that little sweet stroke. So
yeah.
yeah, that's he got them girls playing, man. That's big ups to her and like you said, kudos to the Dublin Fighting Irish.
That's right. That's right. So now we're gonna move on to it was a weekend or a week full of Hall of Fame inductions, and we're gonna start off with Major League Baseball. Um, and these are some notables that were inducted to the Hall of Fame. Now you know it is so hard, in we're gonna get into
We're gonna talk
the
about that.
whys later, but it's hard to get into that Hall of Fame. So headlining was Derek Jeter, of course, you know the shortstop for the New York Yankees. Marvin Miller, Ted Simmons, and Larry Walker were the inductees from 2020. But we know with COVID, they couldn't do the
Oh,
ceremony, so they decided they're not going to do a 2021, and they were just going to honor those.
combined.
Yeah. So they just decided to do that. Shout out to Derek Jeter, the captain.
The captain.
Captain. I
I
mean,
used to hate him. I loved him and I hated him because they beat the Braves a couple times in the World
of
Series, but he
course.
was the epitome of a shortstop. He was like the he played basketball in high school, so people didn't
Mhm.
know that. He was pretty good in high school, but man, he was what you wanted in a shortstop, what you wanted in a captain, what you wanted in a leader.
Yeah.
He made plays after plays, hits after hits, clutch, same team forever.
Yep.
Everybody come and go, he's still there.
Yep.
And now I think he's running Miami. So a guy like that been around baseball all day. Of course, they're gonna stay in baseball.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna probably coach or something, but he's I think the general manager over
Man.
baseball operations.
When
And
you made that much money, you don't need another. You just
don't need-
enjoy
right,
the rest
sit
of your
down and
life.
chill.
Enjoy the rest of your
And I
life.
seen the clip of his because his nephew tipped his hat his
Yep.
last game,
Yep.
and he was there in the front row of the induction. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
On Larry Walker, that was a guy that I kind of kept up with. He was a lefty, and then because the Braves used to play the Rockies, that's when the Rockies, when they opened up this mile high, balls used to go out of there
Yeah.
like nothing. But he wasn't that power home run hitter. He hit for average. You
Mhm.
know how hard it is to hit one season. He had a career batting average of 313
Yeah.
over 17 years. Man,
Hard
that's
to
people
do.
want 1 year of
That's
300, a
hard
whole
to do,
career.
man. Yeah.
And like I said, he wasn't a home run hitter, but he still hit like I think it was 383 home runs.
Yeah.
Over that's 1,100 RBIs, and then he won the MVP in 1997. A couple All-Star games. I remember the memorable All-Star game when I think it was Randy Johnson was pitching against him, and he was hitting lefty, and it was lefty on lefty, and I think he hit him with like a little inside pitch, and I can remember him going to the right side, taking his helmet off and turning it backwards, and he's trying to hit from the right. Like that was a memorable moment for Larry Walker for me. But he was a cool player, man. I seen something about him when I seen the video call of him getting accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that because you have to have like 70-some% or whatever. He's a SpongeBob fan. He had on his little SpongeBob, not your
Oh
average
man.
Sponge. Yes, he had on his SpongeBob little emblem at the introduction at the ceremony. So it was kind of cool seeing that he was like an older guy who like still like little cartoons type junk, But he been waiting on this for a while. I think he had to wait on. Like you said, it's tough to get in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
He came through that PED era, but he was one of those ones that didn't do it. He could actually hit the ball. So
Right.
that's big to him. I didn't know too much about the last couple of guys. I think Mr. Miller is actually deceased. Marvin Miller, he was the director of Players Association from 66 to 82.
Mm-hmm.
And he changed the game make the Players Union one of the best unions baseball had ever had. Getting the
Okay.
players more involved and whatever. And that was back in 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Okay.
And Ted Simmons was the only catcher, maybe the only player to start, at catcher in both All-Star in two different All-Star games, one for the National League, one for the American League. That's
Okay.
a fun fact with him. And he was a good power. He was one of those unorthodox catchers that hit both hands, switch hitter catcher,
Yeah.
and he could hit for power and average. Played for the St. Louis Cardinals, played for the Brewers, which he's notable for, and finished his career out in the A as a Brave. So
Okay.
that's fun fact, Mr. Simmons. And he was an older guy that finally got in.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a big deal to be enshrined
To
forever.
get in the hall, any Hall of Fame. That lets you know
Yeah.
that you're known as one of the greatest to do it at whatever you
Yep.
did. Mr. Miller was the Players Association president. Mr. Simmons a catcher. Larry Walker outfielder. Derek Jeter shortstop. Mr. Everything. When you're one of the named as one of the greatest to ever do it, that's big.
Yeah. Of course.
That's
Of course.
big. You're in the history. You can't say the history without them four names right there. You can't name the history of baseball without those guys.
That's right. That's right. So shout out to those guys for making it to the Hall of Fame. So we're gonna stay on the Hall of Fame track, but we're gonna jump over to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of
He
Fame.
ball.
All right, so this is gonna get deep right here
This
because
is gonna get deep.
I got a lot to say about.
Okay. I probably don't have much to say about you, but I got a lot to say. I'm fine with who they put in. I'm not killing that.
Oh, I'm
But
fine.
we have another topic after this, but I wasn't the list. Hey, I'm okay with
Oh,
you can
I'm
go to
fine.
rundown before we get into the
I'm fine
names,
with the
but
list.
I'm fine with the list.
I'm fine with the list,
Okay.
but this one, we'll get.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so
Talk your talk, y'all. Talk your talk.
all right, for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2021, they just did 2020 this year also because that was the Kobe, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett highlighted that class because of COVID. So now this is the first time we have two inductions in the same year. So we're gonna lead off with Rick Edelman. He was a coach. He coached in the NBA for over 30 years. Overall coaching record 58% winning. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
50%. That's great.
That's pretty good. His team reached the playoffs in 16 of his 23 seasons. Where he was a head coach for Portland Trailblazers, and he made it two finals, 1990 against the Pistons, in 1992 when my boy MJ said, he went off on him. You ain't getting it over me. All right. Edelman ranks ninth all time in NBA career wins. All right. So that's pretty cool to go in as a coach. And I got all this off of NBA.com. So if you get time, you can go
Factuals.
look it up. Yes, I don't make this stuff up. All right. Now we're gonna go on to the players. Chris Bosh. All right. You know, Chris Bosh played in Toronto. in Miami. And his career was cut short because of a health issue. He had the blood clots going on. You know, those blood clots are dangerous, especially when you talk about in the lungs and things like that. It could easily take you out. So he had to do what was best for him and his health. But Chris Bosh is 11-time NBA All-Star from 2006 to 2016, two-time champion with the Miami Heat, the Heatles.
The Heatles.
Him and LeBron joined D Wade 2012 and 2013. In 13 NBA seasons, he averaged 19.2 points, 8.5 rebounds per game. Drafted by the Raptors, he was a member of the All-Rookie team in 2004. Where did he play college ball at, B?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
In the A.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. That's right. He was named Texas Mr. Basketball and a McDonald's All-American while leading Lincoln High to a state and national championship with a 40-0 record. My God.
Hey, I didn't know that.
My God. Okay. On the international stage, Bosh won an Olympic gold medal in 2008. So he's also an Olympian. So he has a decorated career, even though it was cut kind of short.
Yeah, and he was in that draft. He was in that draft with LeBron.
The draft.
The draft. They're saying the greatest. So with him being in that, and then still accomplishing what he did, being in that draft, getting to Toronto, looking like a Raptor, being a Raptor, and and leading that team. You know, I was an all-star with that team before. See, people think he wasn't as good before he joined. Oh, he was the man. And then he took a back seat with Miami. So you're the man in Toronto, perennial all-star, like you said, 20 and 10 every night. Then you go to the Heat, and you know you're a third best player. So people just see most of that. They didn't see his earlier career with. I think he played a little bit with Vince, a little bit with T-Mac. So yeah. I don't have anything to say wrong about Chris Bosh.
He definitely deserves it. And
top 10, 15 power forward ever.
Yeah. He was an example of a stretch four. Before that term became popular, he was an example of a stretch four.
He was doing that in college. He was doing that stretch on three in college.
He can step out, hit the three. He can bang inside if he needs to. That's what a stretch four does.
Nice mid-range, nasty pick and pop. Him and LeBron start games off like that all the time. He had a nice mid-range.
Yeah, he's a finesse player. Definitely finesse.
He wasn't power. Yeah. That's why he got the term. I don't hate to say it. Skip Bayless called him the posh Bosh, like he was soft. But he was good. He did what he had to do. I mean, you didn't have to be no beast on that team like that.
You didn't. You really didn't. And if you hadn't listened to his acceptance speech,
I did. I caught a little clip. I didn't get it long.
I did too. And the story that stuck out to me, well, it was actually two. But when he said when he went down to meet with Pat Riley took out his velvet bag full of his championship ring, poured them on the table. Was like, "I'd love for you to come down here. We can get one of these together." And he was like, "In the meantime, you can hold one of these." And he said he kept it. He never gave it back until that night of his speech. And he was like, "This is the best time to give it to return your ring." And that's kind of
different.
That's kind of dope, man. Like, first of all, he let you keep. You know, them rings are expensive.
And the most recent one, it was the 06 ring that he let him get. Yes. That was the 06 ring. So he just gave you the most recent ring.
He was serious.
He gave one of them old LA rings.
Right.
Miami ring. Yes.
Right. He was serious about Chris Bosh coming to Miami.
And Chris Bosh said he hadn't even signed yet.
Right.
So, hey.
But when you're that guy.
You that guy.
You already know. Come on.
You already know. Yep.
You got to go through all this. Come on.
Yep.
And then how Chris talked about, you know, him coming up and all the failures he's had over his lifetime, and even with sports, and he just kept pushing, and he kept pushing, even though he cried. He called himself a crybaby, but he had to cry sometimes, but he kept pushing through, and look where he got him. He's in the Naismith Hall of Fame forever.
Yeah.
So that was kind of dope. I'm gonna save this next guy for last. All right, Bill Russell, not as the player now. He's already there. He's going in as a coach this time. Which I didn't know Bill Russell coached until this. I didn't. I
For real. That's why
I
he
just
got
knew
so
him as a
many.
player.
That's why he got so
Right,
many rings. He
right.
won like 7 or 8 as a player, and then he was a player coach,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was a coach when Red Auerbach left. So yeah,
That's
I
it.
actually didn't know
That's right. He
that.
was the first. He became the first black head coach in the NBA
Yep.
after Red Auerbach left. I don't know if he retired. Yeah, he retired. In his second season as a player coach, what you just said, Russell led the Boston Celtics to the 1968 NBA championship, becoming the first black head coach to win an NBA championship. Also, the following season, Russell would again lead Boston to the NBA Finals and championship, his 11th and final ring. With the Celtics, Seattle Supersonics, and the Sacramento Kings, he compiled an NBA coaching record of 341 wins and 290 losses, which is 54% winning percentage. With the playoff record of 34 and 27, 55% or 56% winning percentage in the playoffs. As a player coach, he was named the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 1968. Russell was inducted to
Wow.
the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame as a player in 1975. So he's going
So
in. He's already in as a player.
as a
Now
player at
he's in as a
75.
coach. Right.
Now you're in as a coach in 2021.
I mean, that's legendary status.
That's legendary in its own, man. You can be in there as a player, finish your career, keep playing coaching at the same time, then go over and be a coach. And your accolades and your accomplishments lead you to get in as a coach also.
I don't know how. I don't.
So that you can't even.
And there was a lot of player coaches. Back in the day.
Yes.
It's stressful being a coach alone. Imagine trying to play and coach.
Or the players with you. You shouldn't be playing. You should just be coaching. You should. I know he got some of that. Take yourself out, put him in. You ain't doing nothing. You know.
Right.
But I doubt that went with Bill
Nah,
Russell.
ain't nobody gonna step at Bill Russell like that.
There you go. I doubt that.
Even now,
outside looking in, we probably thinking that, but him being the guy he was and what his stature of what he was already at that time,
right?
I don't think he got that backlash like that.
And Bill Russell is still spunky. He still. I don't know if you ever paid attention to him or not, but Bill Russell, he still, if he was anything like he is now, back then, I doubt anybody stepped to him.
Yeah, he was different.
Like, hey man, what you doing? You need to you ain't gonna talk to him like that. I don't see that happening. All right, Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace. Okay, so this was kind of cool because Ben Wallace wasn't like he wasn't gonna hurt you on the offensive end. Like he might get some trash buckets, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that dominating, take over the game type player. Yeah. But this should also be a lesson to the younger kids that's coming up. You don't have to score 50 points a night. You don't have to be that guy or girl every night. You can play defense. You can rebound. You know what I'm saying? You can block shots, you can hustle, you can do all of those things and still be a great player. So Ben Wallace going in, he was a 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 2002, 2003, 2005, and 2006. That's tough.
That's dominating.
And Ben Wallace wasn't even that tall.
Yeah. What, 6'8", 6'9" at the most, I think? But they said a joke bench for about 400 pounds.
Oh, he's still in shape. Did you see him?
I can tell, man, he's more slim. It's slimmer now.
He's still in shape.
More. Yeah,
still in shape. Like some guys when they retire, they just
fall off and get fat. Yeah.
Oh, he's still in shape.
Yeah, he that type of person. And you can tell that he was going to be that. You know, and I can tell that when he got out the league that he was going to be to keep working out because he was so big and kept himself together while he played.
Yeah.
So that's his pedigree.
Yeah, of course. You play for Detroit, man. You blue collar all day, all day, every day. Yep. He earned NBA All Defensive Team honors 5 times, 2002 through 2006, and all NBA Second Team 3 times, while leading the NBA in rebounds per game 2002 and 2003, and led the NBA in block shots in 2002. As a collegiate athlete at Virginia Union University. Wallace was a CIAA tournament champion and tournament MVP in 1995 and a Division II First Team All-American in 1996. Now, for those of you who don't know about the CIAA, Let me tell you, I coached in the CIA 1 year at Fayetteville State University, and we still play Virginia Union. They still play each other, but
Okay.
every night you have to bring it. Every night is a rivalry game,
Mm-hmm.
and those are some athletes,
Okay.
tough athletes. So to even do what he did at that level is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's amazing. So kudos to Ben Wallace and
Big Ben. I don't want to shut down
well
Shaq.
deserved. Well, and you know Shaq what 7'2", 7'1",
7'2", 300 something pounds.
right? And Ben
Able to
Wallace
hold it
maybe six
down.
nine, maybe.
Yes.
All right, Chris Webber. Now this is one, and when I was
Fab
trying to make
Five.
our list that we're going to discuss in a minute,
Okay.
prior to this, the 2021 draft class, he's been eligible, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, with his I don't want to
The
say
way he left,
I want to
and
say
then with the
checkered
history.
past,
Yeah,
but
with the history. Yeah.
you know,
I think it has something to do with his relationship with other people. I don't even think it's basketball no more.
no,
Because everything always went back to the Fab Five, but they has nothing to do with the NBA.
but you know, they kind of, they want to, if something happens like that, they're gonna make it follow
Tie
you
that
wherever
in,
you
follow
go.
you everywhere.
But
Yep.
on the court, this
I'm
man,
out.
he was another one of those stretch fours. But Chris Webber liked to bang a little more than Chris
Yeah,
Bosh.
yeah. True.
So Chris Webber is a 5-time NBA All-Star and the 1994 Rookie of the Year. He earned All NBA First Team honors in 2001 and All NBA. My words got cut off, but he was also a McDonald's All American Game MVP, Michigan's Mr. Basketball, and Naismith Prep Player of the Year in 1991. So, and one of his in his acceptance speech, I didn't know he had a close relationship with Isaiah Thomas like that. I didn't know.
Which was his presenter. That's who
Yes,
presented him
yes,
too.
yes,
Cause
yes.
I want to send a lesson because that's always interesting to me. The people who bring the Hall of Famers out, who
Yes.
presented them. That always used to interest me, and I got the names of some of the ones that I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, that's who brought him out. Go ahead though.
And to be a presenter, you have to also be in the
Be in the
Hall of
hall,
Fame. So you
right?
can't just pick anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
So I didn't know they had that close of a relationship. And Chris Webber also, and they kind of highlighted when he said that when he was talking about IT, with I shouldn't call him IT because I think about the other Isaiah Thomas, but the original Zeke, I'm a Zeke.
See, yeah.
Okay, I call him that.
Bad boy.
Right. So Zeke, he said Zeke looked out for him. Anything he needed, he took care of him, make sure he was straight. And he was like, that's why I never had to accept a penny from anybody. He kind of got emotional because they accused him of taking money back in Michigan.
Yeah, back
And
in
that's
Michigan.
kind of, that kind of
Which all
stained.
them boys probably was, but
Yeah, I mean,
they just had to see what it was. I heard from the story that Chris Webber did take money. All them boys did, but
didn't Jalen Rose come out and
Jalen
say
Rose,
they all
all them boys, I think all them, they was in, it was one guy who kind of like was like the recruiter of all of them. And he was like, I can get you this and that. But I think Chris Webber didn't return the favor like he was supposed to do.
Okay.
So the guy said, okay, I'm gonna come out about it. That's how it kind of came out. I think from what I readings and articles I've heard over the years. And then, it got big about the Fab Five when the documentary came out. So that's what I heard. It was this guy, and I think the guy's actually deceased now. And Jalen Rose stuck up for him because Jalen Rose kept it real. Like, stuff shouldn't come out if everybody got it.
Right.
Everybody, he looked out for everybody, but nobody's talking about it. Chris came out and talked about it because that man's family wanted money.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. So I think they all did, but like you said, that distinction stays on them, stayed on him.
And then when he called the timeout against North Carolina in that
didn't have none.
And I was watching that. I was actually watching that because my dad is a big UNC fan. So I was watching that game when he called the timeout. I'm like, whoa. And I was a little kid then. I'm like, even I knew not to do that.
And in defense of him, he said he heard somebody say call a timeout from his bench. So I don't know. That's just what we heard. And it looked like, and on the document, it looked like somebody's over there trying to say something to him. But I know they told you 4 or 5 times in the huddle there
Come
you have
on,
no
you
time.
know when you on that
You a
stage,
superstar
man.
player, bro. You got to know that.
When you on that stage, everybody
Yep.
can't handle that pressure.
Here you go. I was just about to say that.
Everybody can't handle that pressure.
Pressure bust fights.
He might have heard call timeout. Somebody else might have said, "We don't have
You ain't
timeout."
got no time out. Or it should have rang in your head that you don't have
Right?
it.
You know,
He
coach done
dribbled
told
scared.
you.
And like you said, he dribbled to the sideline. I
He
mean,
did. He did. But
yeah.
hey, I'm not mad about it because I'm a UNC fan too. All right. Jay Wright as a coach. Wright is a two-time Naismith National Coach of the Year, 2006 and 2016. Six-time Big East Conference Coach of the Year, 2006, 2009, 2014 through 16, and 2019. And the first coach in NCAA history to lead a team to 4 consecutive 30-win seasons. That's tough to do, y'all.
Villanova.
Villanova. He led Villanova to 2 NCAA national championships, 2016 and 2018, and 8 Big East regular season championships, 2006, 2014 through 17, 2019 through 2021. And all right has guided Villanova to 3 Final Fours, 4 Elite Eights, and 5 Sweet 16 appearances. He's compiled an overall coaching record of 206 612 wins and 274 losses with a 69% win percentage.
Ooh, that's Coach K like.
Wright was named the recipient of the John R. Wooden Legends of Coaching Award in 2018. So he knows his stuff.
On in the big seats, I always watched Novas, and back in the days when they used to go 4 guards and 1 B, I used to love that. Like that was the beating that name. He was kind of created the small ball early on in
Yeah.
college.
I remember watching Villanova with Kevin Ollie.
Okay. Kevin Ollie. I don't remember.
I want to say
Kevin Ollie that coach UConn? I thought he played at UConn.
I thought he played at Villanova.
He probably did. We have to check into that one. That might be
Yeah,
one we got a good debate on right
pin
now.
in that one. Yeah, we'll put a pin in that
But
one.
he had a light-skinned guard, Scotty. He didn't get to the league, but he had his guard, and I used to like when I used to watch Nova because a lot of Big East games came on TV. I'm a Duke fan, but I used to like Nova.
Yeah,
I used to like Nova.
yep.
Jay Wright, that's big.
That's big.
And his presenters was Charles Barkley, Bill Cunningham of '86 class, Chuck from '06 class, and Herb McGee from class of '11.
Okay. All right. On the women's side, before I go back to my guy. All right, women's Yolanda Griffith. Now remember that W25 list we went over.
What?
Episode 2. She was one of those.
Right.
We used to call her Yo-Yo. All right. Yo-Yo. Griffith is a 7-time WNBA All-Star and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She led Sacramento Monarchs to the WNBA championship in 2005 while being named to the All-NBA WNBA first team and WNBA All-Defensive first team in the same year. In 1999, she earned WNBA MVP and Defensive Player of the Year while leading the league in field goals, rebounds, offensive rebounds, and steals per game. She was putting in work.
She's a two-way player.
Yes.
Two-way.
Yes. She was named as a member of the WNBA's All-Decade team in 2006 and a top 20 player and in the top 20 players in the league's 20-year history in 2016. She began her pro career in the ABL, earning Defensive Player of the Year and All-ABL First Team in 1998. As a student athlete at Florida Atlantic University, Griffith earned WBCA Division II Player of the Year in 1993. So she came from Division II program as well.
That's what's up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either. I didn't know. I didn't know where she played college ball at.
What team in the WNBA she played most of her time?
Sacramento Monarchs.
Okay. That's why. Okay.
Lauren Jackson. She also made the W25 list. All right. So Jackson was a 7-time WNBA All-Star and 3-time MVP. She led the Seattle Storm to WNBA championships in 2004 and 2010, while collecting WNBA Finals MVP honors in 2010. In 2007, she was named the WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, while leading the league in rebounding and points per game. Jackson was named a member of the WNBA's All-Decade team in 2006 and the top 20 players in the league's 20-year history. So Lauren Jackson is actually from, I want to say, Australia.
I think so. I think she played with the
I think
Australian
she,
national
she
team.
came from Australia. Yes. She's a bad girl. She's a bad girl. Like I said, YouTube. If you don't know any of these players we're talking about, YouTube, you can see their highlights. And then we got some contributors. I'm not gonna read their their little background, but contributors are maybe somebody they contributed to the league in some way, either the WNBA or the NBA. So we got Val Ackerman. She was actually one of the founders of the WNBA. So if it were not for her, maybe we wouldn't even have a WNBA.
Have a WNBA.
Cotton Fitzsimmons, Howard Garfinkel, and early African American Pioneers Committee, Clarence Fat Jenkins was a player. He's post, I can't pronounce his name, posthumously, which means he's passed away. But he's honored even after death. And also Howard Garfinkel also was honored after death as well. And last but not least, Tony Kukoc, my guy played with my Bulls, Mike, Scotty. It's a funny story if you watch the Last Dance documentary.
Yeah.
How they learned about Tony Kukoc. They knew that he was gonna be coming over to the Bulls. So when they had the dream team and they was playing against Tony's team,
Croatia.
Like, yeah, Croatia. Mike and Scott was like, yeah, we finna lock this dude up. He's soft. So that's crazy because Tony Kukoc, he held his own.
He
held his own. So he gained that respect from those two guys even before he joined the Bulls. And that was a pretty cool story that they told on that documentary.
They said Pippen and Jordan was they were fouling them, haggling
them,
everything.
They was giving it to him.
We finna see where you at. Yeah, they was battling like who was gonna check them and stuff like that.
Yeah, they gave him the work now, but he held his own. And he's a 3-time champion with the Bulls. That second three-peat, he was there for that. Sixth man of the year in 96. He played in the NBA from 93 to 2006. Was named the NBA All-Rookie second team in 94. He is a 5-time Eurostar European Player of the Year and 3-time EuroLeague MVP. With Yugoslavia, he earned a FIBA World Championships gold medal and a silver medal in the 1988 Olympics. He also earned a silver medal in the Olympics with Croatia in 92. He was named the FIBA World Championships MVP in 1990 and is on the list of FIBA's 50 greatest players in 1991. So, Mr. Kukoc, he held his own. He held his own, and he definitely. Michael Jordan was
presenting him.
His presenter.
Him and Jerry Reinsdorf. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's right. Now this guy saved for last, B.
I know why you said. I was like, who we missing over there? I started laughing myself. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna read his, his accomplishments.
It's gonna seem like we hate him, but we ain't hating, but we hate him.
Oh no. Like I said on my Facebook, it's not because you weren't a heck of a player.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing
what
about
you doing after
it's the after fact. Yes. Okay. So Paul Pierce, I saved him for last for a reason. But we'll get into that. I'm gonna read his stat line and all that. So Pierce is a 10-time NBA All-Star and a 2008 NBA champion with the Boston Celtics. That's when they had the big three: KG, Ray Allen, Big Perk, Kendrick Perkins,
Young
Rondo was running point. They had a squad. I was a fan of that.
Tony Allen, Leon Poe,
yeah,
Big Baby, yeah.
Nate Robinson was on
Nate on that team? I don't know if Nate was on that team that year, but he was on the Celtics squad. But I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it was the championship year.
I can't remember. I have to look that up too. In 2008, he was named the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player. After 19 seasons, Pierce ranked 9th all-time in free throws made and 3-point field goals made. as well as 19th all time in NBA scoring with 26,397 points. He was drafted by the Celtics. Pierce was named a member of the NBA All Rookie team, first team in 1999. As a Kansas Jayhawk, he was a unanimous first team All American in 1998 with Inglewood High. Inglewood. Pierce was named California Mr. Basketball and a McDonald's All American in 1995. His number 34 is retired by the Boston Celtics and Kansas Jayhawks. So if you don't remember, Paul Pierce had a little rough start to his NBA career with the incident that and the incident where he got stabbed and
went back home and they tried in his hometown in the club and they ran up on him a couple times.
So he had a rough start. And he and I'm not trust me, I don't hate on anybody.
We ain't throwing no shit.
None at all. But Paul Pierce, the thing that got me with him when he did retire, that last season he played,
he tried to do the Kobe.
He tried to do a farewell tour. And I think it was Draymond Green.
It was
like, you ain't Kobe. You ain't Kobe.
They don't like you like that. They don't like you like that. You must thought you were Kobe. Boy, he was killing loud during the game. First quarter.
During the game, this man was on the free. Somebody was shooting the free throw.
He was on the bench. He was on the bench. Draymond was standing up on the basket, yelling at him on the bench while somebody was shooting free throws.
That's right.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the game.
When he's in the game, Paul Pierce, and I get it. He's not the most graceful superstar. And he was a superstar. I give it to him. He was a superstar, but he wasn't the most graceful superstar. And it kind of felt like, give me my flowers. And you shouldn't have to ask nobody.
Ask for
it. It will come naturally.
Right.
Organically. Let it happen. Let the people send you off how they want to send you off. And that's the vibe I got from him. And then the big fiasco with the what was it? Instagram video or
with him going with the live and you being on ESPN.
Come on, you gotta know better.
Doing too much. You gotta watch.
Gotta know better than that. And then he thanked the girls that was in the video in his acceptance speech. You didn't know that?
I gotta go watch
it. You gotta go watch
it. That's one reason, like the disdain towards him. I just looked at his stats and got what he did and who presented him, and I was gonna leave it at Paul Pierce. You in the hall of that. I wasn't even gonna go. I ain't even look at his acceptance speech. I like KG, but I ain't really like too much Paul like that. I like this game, but like you said, he wasn't the most great. He was unorthodox.
Yeah,
it was more like old man game-ish type. He wasn't Chills, he wasn't Bill. He was made like he was like the dude you wouldn't even pick in a game. You know what I'm saying? But he looked
like a guy down at LA Fitness who used to play in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you go.
But the man could play. And them battles against the Lakers with Kobe.
Yes.
And then when LeBron went to the Heat, those battles were epic, man. And Paul Pierce stepped up. He made some big shots, he made some big plays, but his farewell tour was
a little different.
A lot different. It was. But congratulations to him though. Him and his camp, because that's hard to do. But the NBA has been taking it's not the NBA, it's the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame, but they've been taking a lot of heat because they're saying like y'all just giving everybody, putting everybody in the Hall.
Putting everybody in. Yeah.
And they've been taking a lot of heat for that because of that reason. They feel like everybody's getting in the Hall of Fame. I don't see that. I don't.
With you making double-digit all-star games and possibly one or two awards, individual awards, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, those type of guys, those guys get in the Hall. These aren't just any player. Everybody done heard of Chris Bosh and what he do. Chris Will, being what these are household names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I
think those are the ones that should be, because everybody, you done heard these names for over 20 years. So
I don't see what
I'm okay with the list. I'm okay with when they got in. I think, probably Weber, probably a little sooner, probably.
Yeah, Weber should have been in sooner.
Been a little sooner. I mean, of course, if he'd been first ballot, if he'd have got that ring over the, if they would have beat Kobe Bryant, even said, "I don't know how we beat Sacramento Kings."
Sacramento was good.
And that three-peat, one of those three-peat runs, he was like, we were down 12-15 every game.
Sacramento
Every
was
game. That's
good.
the Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, Jay Will, Mike Bibby, Doug
Doug
Christie
Christie.
days. But that
Yep.
was it. I just love Doug. He was doing that before
Yep.
Curry.
Yep.
But I used to always love those guys, that team, because I wasn't a really true Laker. And I used to want to see them lose most of the
I
time.
did too. I couldn't
But
stand
with
it.
Sacramento, I was more. I guess it might have been the light skinned dudes they had. It might have been because they had Bibby and but and Peja Stojakovic, I used to like him too.
Oh yeah, can't forget about it.
Those I thought that was the team that was supposed to. I think they had 60 wins that year, and
Yeah.
it was coached by Rick. Wasn't Rick Adelman that coach then? I think was it Sacramento coach? Who was that coach then? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure. It might have been Rick Adelman. Did he coach Sacramento Kings? But anyway, I remember Kobe saying that he don't know how they beat that Sacramento Kings team. He don't know. They were down 10-15 every game.
Yeah.
But if he would,
they had a good squad.
yeah, if Chris would have won that, he would have definitely been first ballot. They would have beat those squad.
Well, I told you, I don't think it was anything on the court that kept
Yeah, it's got off.
being as he did. I think it was more off the court stuff.
Because it's Pierce's first ballot. Was this his first chance? Because it had to be after what, 5 years of you being out the league.
He's been gone 5 years already.
He's been gone by that. Let me see. So he first ballot because he ain't been out there that long. He hadn't been out 16, 17, maybe his last year.
Yeah.
But we was with the Clipper, Washington. I think he finished out with LA.
He finished
with Doc. He went back to Doc. So wherever Doc was at
in
Clipper. So yeah, first ballot then. If he first ballot,
Chris Webber
should be first ballot.
Yeah. So,
but shout outs to the Hall of Famers.
Shout out to all of them. Well deserved.
History of basketball without these names right here.
That's right. That's right. So, to wrap up our show, we compiled a list of our top 5 players that aren't in the. We did one for Major League Baseball and basketball. Top 5 players that aren't in the Hall of Fame that we feel should be in the Hall of Fame. All right. So, B, you want to lead us off?
I'll lead them off. I'll lead it off now.
All right.
Number 1, everybody been throwing this name because to get in the Hall of Fame or to be a Hall of Famer or a champion or the GOAT, they going by rings. So if you go by rings, I got a guy who got Selma.
Oh.
Robert Big Shot Bob Horry. Not in the league. Not in the Hall, I mean. 7 rings. 2 with the Rockets. 3 with the Lakers. 2 with the Spurs. Okay, not your superstar. Not your just, the go-to guy because you played with Akeem. You played with Clyde at the end of his year, back end of his career. But let me tell you what he did when he like you said, playoff dough.
Tell me.
Playoff Horry.
I need to hear this.
Game 1, NBA 95 Finals. 5 blocks, 4 threes. The next game, 7 steals, and the game clinching 3 in game 3. That's the 95. That's what he did a little bit. That let you know his type of game with the Rockets.
Okay.
And you go to a Kobe, Shaq-led team. Them 3 years, he saved the Lakers in the conference finals with the miracle buzzer beater.
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, game 5, 21 points off the bench, 5 threes, the big dunk on Rip Hamilton. This in the finals, the big dunk on Rip, and then hit the game-winning shot. People joke if they wait till the last second. If the Hall of Fame voters wait till the last second, then he should be in the Hall.
Right.
But yeah, that's my case. Or I mean, you got 7, and you play integral parts in every single one of those games. I'm gonna say every single game, every season. But when you get to the finals, so would you think Rondo would be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No, he's probably not going in.
So
unfortunately, but I don't think he's going in.
All right. Well, that's a good debate right there for another day. I like Horry.
It is
7 rings.
Yeah.
More than Jordan.
You're right.
Right. This name come from back in the day just playing pickup. I had an uncle, my uncle Sam, my little cousin Sam Demons. His dad played against Mookie Blaylock.
Okay.
So before Mookie Blaylock, there was an old school player, the first Sweet Lou Hudson,
Okay.
played with the Hawks. 6 straight All-Star games from 70 to 75. Played 11 years with the Hawks. Averaged 26-4. Numbers would have been higher, but he went to the military for a year.
Oh, okay.
And was called Sweet Lou because of the sweet outside jumper. So that's a former Hawks. My dad used to throw his name out there back in the day. So that's how I heard about him. I think he should be in the Hall. Long overdue. Anybody average 26 points, 11 seasons.
Yeah.
You should be in the league.
Yeah.
You should be in the Hall.
Yeah.
All right. My third one, Sean Rainman Kemp.
I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that.
All-Star game, 1 finals appearance during the Jordan era.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't getting that one.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged 20 and 10. Well, walking 20 and 10 in his heyday. Then traded to Cleveland, I think was the wrong move.
That was it for him.
The Joker stopped eating vegetables and went eat number fried chicken.
He pulled a James Harden before James Harden, didn't he?
There you go. Got to be 300 pounds. But guess what? Still he get you 20 when he was 300.
Yeah, yeah.
So average about 19 over his career. That's my for Sean Kemp. You can't put in a Sean Kemp dunk compilation and not like it.
Right.
One of the most creative dunkers and power dunkers we ever seen.
And I love his shoes. I got a pair right now.
The Rainman shoes.
I got a pair right now.
They were tough. All right, that's 3. Glenn Rice. NBA title with Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go back further than that, he was an outstanding NCAA player.
Yes.
Championship,
yes.
Most valuable player. Killed that. All right. 3 All-Star teams. Won the 3-point shootout in 95. Miami Heat first real superstar.
Right.
But you think Miami wasn't nothing until him and Zoe and then Shaq, D-Wade and all them got there. Before then, nobody knew what Miami had going on.
Right.
And let's see. And a career 40% 3-point shooter.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll light you up from that 3-point.
So he'll light you up. And then won as a straight 3.3 and D guy with the Lakers. So and played good intricate parts in those seasons and those championships.
Okay.
And my last but not least,
another
Hawk. Another kind of bounced around. Not your average Joe. Joe Johnson. Let me give it to you. Okay. 7-time All-Star.
Okay.
Top 10 career 3-point shooter.
Okay.
Everywhere he went, he was something different. Started in Boston. I didn't even know that. As a defender. I remember the Phoenix Joe Johnson. Went to Phoenix. Remember he fell and busted his face.
Yeah, I remember that.
He became like a 3-and-D guy, added the 3-point shot in Phoenix.
Yeah.
All right. Then you go to the A. I won't say superstar because I say Atlanta don't never really get superstars until now.
Yeah.
But he was a star.
Yeah.
He was a every year All-Star. He was a star, the go-to guy. That's what he became, the playmaker, the leader in Atlanta.
Yes.
And that's where the term ISO Joe came from. Then when he got to Brooklyn, led with Paul Pierce and all them boys when they teamed up trying to beat Bron, them couldn't do it. But once again, ISO Joe couldn't kill him. He was almost unstoppable. Then he went to Utah. Where in Brooklyn and Atlanta ended his career in Atlanta. Then Brooklyn and Utah, he started patenting the ISO Joe and the back down, the butt tap, the Mark Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Get to your spot. And he's 6'7", so he gonna rise up over you and shoot over you.
Yep.
So and then he was killing smaller guards. I always call him a big guard because that's what we call ourselves O guard. Me and Deontay Ward call ourselves O guard, and Timo, my boy from ABA, was called big guards. So I always liked him because of that, and then the one-on-one thing. Even in Utah's last season, he had 29 in one quarter one game. So he always been able to get buckets throughout 12 seasons in the league. Always been able to get buckets. And now still balling. I just seen him on the TBT to win for the $1 million. He had a team in that getting buckets. Big 3. AS 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Man, he's the MVP one year. Led the league in points and assists. Most outstanding player and still killing them. and he's
Yes.
about 40, and they still talking about teams may call him in the playoffs. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so that
He did say that they did an interview with him on Sirius XM radio, NBA
okay.
radio, and he did say it was some teams that were interested in him still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still can hoop, man. So those are my 5. Yeah, there's some iffy ones in there, but because of the
Man, you
long
got a
tenure, like
lot
you
of
said,
iffy ones in there.
that's probably because, like you said, they trying to let just anybody get on in there. But
Yeah.
go career, go back in their era. See, we looking at it as now too. The
Yeah.
numbers are more minuscule than the 3-point ball level. Glenn Rice playing right now. He giving you 300 threes a year.
He giving Steph and Clay a run for that
Type stuff. That's what I'm saying. So that's why you kind of balancing and you leading the day what they could have did in our day. I think Sean Kemp could have played with us. I think anybody who averages 26, Sweet Lou could have played. Robert Orr could have been a 3 and D. He was before his time with that stretch 4. And then ISO Joe, he can play when he's 19 and when he's 40. So those are my 5, and that just, did I get one early on? We said we were gonna have a couple of light.
Zero.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. That's good news.
But I'll tell you what, Glenn Rice and Sean Kemp, I was battling with those two. So we almost had. All right. So I'm gonna give you my 5. No particular order. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna lead with this. Penny Hardaway, my guy. Penny Hardaway. Unfortunately, injuries cut his career short. But this man in 14 seasons averaged 15.2 points a game, 5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 1.6 steals, 33.7 minutes, and he shot 46% from the field, 32% from the free 3-point line, and 77% from the free throw line. So, and we all know the impact he had on the game. Mm-hmm. That year they put the Bulls out when Jordan came back. Like, I hated him for that, but I mean, him and Shaq together was dead.
That was the premature Kobe and Shaq. Everybody always say.
Yeah, it was, and unfortunately, he got injuries happen. But Penny Hardaway really, I think, even though he has no titles, no MVPs, no nothing, but I think he should go in.
And I like his shoes too. I had a pair.
Oh man, yes.
And then he was the first one really that had his own little carrot with the little penny and the Tyra Banks commercial and all that. Yes, I used to love that.
He was that guy. All right, the next one, Brad Daugherty.
Okay.
Another UNC guy.
I don't like him because of that, but
okay. Go Tar Heels. All right, 8 years in the league. This man averaged 19 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 36.5 minutes per game, shot 53% from the field, and 75% from the free throw line. And he is 41st in the history of the league in field goal percentage. So he was a big guy. He did some time in Cleveland, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I remember the Cleveland days because Jordan hit him with that shot.
The shot. One of his shots.
One of the shots.
But Brad Daugherty was also, they described him as a stretch four before the stretch four became popular.
Okay. Yeah,
he could step out and he wasn't a 3-point shooter.
But it was a long 18 foot
outside the block. He could. Gotcha. All right, this one I'm still trying to wrap my head around why this man isn't in the Hall of Fame already. Michael Cooper, cool man, played for the Showtime Lakers. So
he didn't let him pass. He passed, didn't he?
No, Michael Cooper still living, ain't he?
He coaching.
He was coaching the Atlanta Dream for a little bit.
Okay.
He may be coaching somewhere else, but I don't think he is.
I think that was the Boston guy that died. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought he still was coaching in WNBA somewhere.
He may be, but I'm not sure where. But I knew I did follow them when he was in Atlanta.
Who was the Sparks coach?
He did coach.
That might be where he at. Or did coach then.
I gotta put a pin in that too. I gotta look that up. But Michael Cooper, man, come on. This man a 5-time champion. He's 8 all-time defensive selection. All NBA defensive selection, won Defensive Player of the Year in 86 and 87. And by the way, he only started 2 games that year. That 86-87 season. He only started 2 games, but won Defensive Player of the Year. How tough do you have to be to come off the bench, and win Defensive Player of the Year? And that's what he got you. Like he wasn't, you got Magic and all them guys on the team.
Yeah, they were deep.
You don't need him to score. He did what he was supposed to do. Play defense, right? My next one, Larry Johnson, grandmama. Yes, sir. Converse made them popular. React Juice. Remember
the first Madea.
The first Madea that'll dunk on you. Right. So Larry Johnson, he was a former #1 pick out of UNLV. Oh, they had a squad.
Running Rebels. Yes, they did.
Yes, they had a squad.
Augment and all them boys.
Yes, sir. That was back in 1991. He won Rookie of the Year. His career number is 16.2 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, average 36.3 minutes per game, and ended with a 48% field goal percentage. And you know what he did for Charlotte. You know what he did for New York when he was there. Like, this man was the epitome of tough, and he could step out and hit the 3 too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy, he changed. He's another one that kind of sort of changed the game with the endorsements.
There you go. Outside of basketball,
he made a special appearance. Remember that episode of Family Matters?
Yeah.
He did a 2-on-2 tournament, and Steve, Eddie didn't want to be teammates with Steve, right?
Yeah.
So Steve went and found grandma was killing him.
I remember that.
All right, my last one. It pained me to write this name down, but I did it anyway. Bill Laimbeer, one of the bad boys. He was drafted from Notre Dame to the Cavaliers, but he signed to play in Italy, so he didn't even play. He didn't even play where he got drafted to play.
Okay.
And this was back in 1979. He was traded. He did play for the Cavs, but short. Not too long, but he was traded to the Pistons in 1982. He's a 2-time NBA champion. Shot 49, almost 50% from the field. 83.7% from the free throw line. His career was cut short because of injury too. He ended up retiring in 1993. But you know he's a bad boy. He is a bad boy, and he was with that bad boy Pistons team. And if you go back and watch film, man, they would literally take people out the air.
And like they ain't did nothing.
If it wasn't for the bad boys, there would be no 6-time NBA champion Michael Jordan. There wouldn't be. He wouldn't have changed himself to the player that he had to get past that hump, which was a Detroit Pistons for him. I mean, those bad boys were something tough, and Bill Laimbeer was tough. And he did a coaching stint in the WNBA too with the Detroit Shop. Detroit had a team. The Detroit
they had Karl Malone's daughter.
Yeah, Cheryl Ford. I remember that. They won a couple titles, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they won some
Katie Smith days. Katie Smith,
yes, sir. So he's a coach. He's coaching. And is he coaching in the Big Three?
He's not in WNBA no more. It might be the Big Three that he's in. Might be. I think he's coaching somewhere though.
I thought he was coaching in the Big Three. I may be wrong, but I don't think he's coaching in WNBA anymore. Okay. I don't think he is. Okay. It was him and Rick Mahorn was coaching the Detroit Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you know them girls were tough.
I know who Rick Mahorn is. My dad used to go watch. He's going basketball game because he said Jimmy Williams looked like Rick Mahorn.
He did.
He
did. Yes, he did. Your daddy right. But man, you know they had them girls ready for war.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to?
You went more old school with me, and I went.
I did because I was gonna start talking about players that were still playing, and I didn't want to do that.
Gotcha.
Because Rondo would have been #1 on my list.
Yeah.
Actually, I had wrote his name down. I wrote his name down
Okay.
and I scribbled it out
You're
because
like,
I
this
didn't
easy.
want to. I
Yeah.
didn't want to put down players that were still playing.
Still
I didn't
in.
want
Yeah.
to do that. So yeah. So this MLB list, I don't have any stats for you,
I
but
don't,
I just
I don't
got
have,
some names.
I got a couple stats for some. I got like I really was gonna do 3 because we was kind of iffy on the baseball
Yeah,
Hall of Fame.
yeah,
But I did 1, 2, and we both was gonna do well, just say Pete Rose because we
yeah,
already both
yeah.
gonna say that one.
I
But I
got
did him and I did a couple more that you probably didn't know, and I got a couple of little stats on 'em.
okay, okay. So I'm gonna read through my list real fast because I don't
All
have
right.
stats for them. And all of these guys are being held from. They're not voting for them because of PEDs or
They don't even vote. Their name. They don't even. I don't even take. They think they take count for these guys. Because I
some
read
of them.
something like,
Somewhere I was reading. Sometimes they do, but it's only so long your name can stay on that ballot if you get less
right,
than a certain
not
percentage of
less
votes.
than a certain percentage. Yep,
Yeah,
sure it is.
yeah. So here's my list, and all of them except for Pete Rose, um, the PED scandal. All right, Sammy Sosa. You wouldn't even recognize him if you saw him
Oh
now.
yeah,
Uh,
Sammy light skin now.
yeah, yeah. Barry Bonds, A Rod, and Mark McGuire, and then Pete Rose was gonna be my fifth.
I
So
grew up watching
all
all
those
those
got
guys, and
busted.
like you said, they was in that different era, them 98
Yeah,
days. But listen, that's what we wanted. That's they're changing. Like not we wanted home runs and all that back now. Back then, everybody want to see offense, offense, offense.
mm-hmm.
Now they're changing the baseball to make less home runs. So I really understand. You know, they're making the pitchers not lick their hands and sticky stuff no more. They
Oh,
got to
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, they taking everything out. But I those are some that were just the obvious ones
yeah.
that you called. So I ain't even put that. We talked about those earlier, but these are some more names, and only one of these guys are actually in that PED era. But his stats were dumb. Uh, my top 5: Rafael Palmeiro, first base,
Yeah.
Baltimore, and I think he played with the Angels a little bit. He remains as the only Hall eligible player with at least 3,000 hits and
Hmm.
500 home runs who isn't in the Hall. Like, I don't care what. He came out early 80s. He played college ball and then he came out and played. So, and he was the only one that said, I did not take PD. He's the only one that actually said that in front of the judge. So I believe him. So I put him down.
Yeah.
And the only other people that has those stats that he has is A Rod
Mm-hmm.
and Albert Pujols, who's
I remember.
incredibly
Yeah.
still playing. I cannot believe that. That man, he just hit one 400 some feet the other night. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he haven't hit the ballot yet, so that's crazy. And my honorable mention for up under him was Fred McGriff, Atlanta Braves first base.
Great. Yeah.
Fred ain't in there. And before he got
Wow.
with Atlanta, he was a bad boy with the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and people don't know that Crime Dog name came from the first night that he got traded to the Braves, the in the old Fulton County Stadium, the press box caught on fire. So they named him. He was named Fred McGriff, so they named him the Crime Dog because they
Oh
won that night.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I
So
ain't
they're my
know that.
first two first base, and then my second one. You probably heard this name before. I think J. Cole got a song about it. Kenny Lofton,
Yeah.
center fielder
Kenny ain't in the
for.
hall.
He's not in the Hall. Kenny Lofton. Played around the league. He played with 11 teams, I think. But he's best known for his days with the Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
Uh,
Yep.
there's this new stat out called WAR replacement on a WAR status. It's like a new
Yeah.
next gen wins over above replacement.
Yes.
If you go by that stat, there's only 4 more players ever in history more valuable than Kenny Lofton. Barry, I'm just gonna say about his first name. Barry, Frank Thomas,
Frank Thomas.
Jeff Bagwell,
Yeah, I remember
and
him.
Ken Griffith, Ken Jr.
The kid.
So the kids. So those are only 4 players that's more valuable to a team than he played on than
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Was an offensive catalyst. I always remember him butting in little singles, little quick double. He'll make a single look like and turn into a double. He was so
Right.
fast.
Right.
Always stealing bases, even well past 30. He stole bases. And they said he was on base more time than these Hall of Famers. Larry Walker, who just got in, he got on base more time than him.
Mm-hmm.
M. Rice, which is an older guy, and Joe DiMaggio. We all heard of that name.
Man, yeah.
Yankee polo. So he got on base more times than those guys, not in the Hall.
Wow.
And not PEDs or none of that. I don't know what it is. And my honorable mention in that under for center field was I'm gonna go with another Brave, Andrew Jones.
Is he eligible yet?
He been out of the league for a minute.
I
That's
need to
Chipper.
look-
Chipper was stayed in longer than he did, I think.
I need to look that up because I'm
Look
sure
him
Andrew
up.
going in.
He should
I'm
be
sure
in
Andrew
about
going.
400 home runs. Had a couple years where he was like hitting 40 every year.
Yeah.
You know, Gold Glove, man. See, they saying Acuna Jr. is the new Jones, so you putting that in the category of him, not in the Hall yet. And then we both had Pete Rose, and he's not in the Hall because he bet on baseball, but the most.
They need to let that go, man.
They need to let that go. That man ran around the base paths and hustle. That Charlie Hustle was his nickname. So
Yeah,
that
they
just
need to let it go. Let it
that tell you what it was right there.
Oh,
But
my mistake. A-Rod will become eligible in 2022.
okay,
That's my mistake. But
I hope that TV
You'll see-
time doesn't help him and then turn them voters because right now he on
Yeah.
that PED level too.
I
I've read
hope-
stories that he
yeah,
took
he
gummies and
was
stuff.
in on that too. So I hope they overlook that.
I hope they
That
do
he's
too.
eligible next year for them to vote for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Another good show. Another good show in the books. Join us again. Episode 4 next week. We're gonna have some more hot topics for you.
Where they can find us at, Coach?
Yes, thank you. All right, so we've been working behind the scenes. Now we're trying to get to the bigger streaming companies, but right now we are on Podbean, Podbean, Podbean app. You can download it. It's free just to listen. And you can look us up, 80s Babies Podcast, and YouTube, of course. Type in the 80s Babies Podcast. I can't say that fast for the life of me. And of course, we're on Facebook as well. Please like, share, subscribe, either on Podbean or YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Let's help get us out there.
We appreciate the love. We appreciate it. We dropped it on YouTube. That's the most views I done seen anybody watches.
Episode 2.
Hey, y'all come out.
Episode 2 has surpassed like double episode 1 views. So if you missed episode 1, go back and watch it on YouTube. You know, just let us know if you click on it and walk off. Good. Okay, that's fine.
Y'all add me on if y'all haven't added me, some of Nicole's friends, some of Coach's friends, y'all add me on the book, and I share every day before episodes come out. I share the previous week's episode. I'm gonna try to do that every Tuesday. Share the previews. You forgot it, I'll share it. So you come look at it or whatever on my page.
That's right. So that's gonna wrap us up for episode 3, and we'll catch y'all next week. This episode was brought to you by 31 Recruiting and Training Services, LLC. We're up next. And don't forget, if you want to see your business advertised here on our show, get in contact with Nicole Newton or Brandon Stevens.